Hey, this is Jerry from Bliz Studio, and in another little edition of this tutorial of the Roller Splat game, what I want to do is something just a little bit different. So in this case, I want to change the color of the background every time I change a level. So it adds a lot more variety and a lot more excitement to the game. So if you want to learn how and you're ready to get started, let's go. So here we're back in Unity, and there's one more thing that I want to do, and that is to change the background color every level. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that we can do that, but what I'm going to do is to use an array of colors, and then we're going to, just like we're calling out individual levels to put on the screen, we're actually going to change the background color for our game based off of an array. Okay, so let's go and do this. So we kind of need to determine when we want to change setting up the color change. So what I want to do is, so after we create the level, I want to go ahead and then go and change the background color. So here's a couple things we need to do. We need to create a new variable. And in this variable, again, we're going to kind of do an array. So we've done array with our levels. Let's do an array with colors. Okay, so here I'm going to create background color palette. So what type of variable? So what we're going to do is create an array, and we'll go ahead and add. And then it's saying, hey, what type of array is it? But one of those is color. So here we go. We've got color. So currently our array size is 0. We need to increase that. So let's maybe make that like 7. And we can always increase or decrease as we go. I'm going to go ahead and just zoom this up a little bit so I got all my colors here. And what I want to do is to change colors. Okay, so currently I have yellow in there, but I want to set all the different colors that I want to create as backgrounds. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with kind of more on the lighter side, and so that's not too bad. Not really saturated because I don't want it to compete with the level itself. Okay, so here's my first color. Then I'm just going to click and go in to find another color, and I'm just going to go along the color wheel here and just change colors based off of the color wheel. So I'm going to kind of try to stick with that same kind of value range and saturation range there. And I'm just going to go around the color wheel and create 7 different colors based off of that. Yeah, so we went from blue. Now let's go in more into the tealy kind of color. Create another color. Let's go more into the green value. And then do more of a yellow type value. And then the last one, we'll go ahead and just choose more of an orange. There we go. So I have a nice little palette of colors, and all I've done is just kind of chose the same value saturation area on the color palette, and then just went and created around the color wheel 7 different colors. Okay, so I have my colors all set up in this background color palette. Okay, so there's a couple different things we need to do. One is we need to first determine what our current color is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new, let's go ahead and create a transition of finished. We're going to go to a new state. And in this state, what I want to do is to get the current color. So get current color. Okay, and so the way I can do that is I'm going to go to my main camera, because that's what I have as the background color of. So we've got here in the environment of our camera the background color. So let's go back to our level manager. I'm going to go ahead and lock that, and I'm going to pull my camera down into that state. So pull my camera down. And then what is it of the camera that we want to get? Well, I want to get what the current color is. So I'm going to get property. And then of course we need to choose what property is it that we want to get. And here we go. There's background color and then color. Okay. So we're going to store that in what our current color is. So I'm going to go new variable, and I'm going to call that current background color. Okay, so we're going to store whatever that color is in this variable. All right, so once we're done with that, I want to also choose what the new color is going to be, and we want to choose it out of that array. So I'm going to go ahead and just to keep this clean, I'm gonna go ahead and add a new transition of finished. So we're getting the current color. I'm gonna go to a new state, and let's just call get the color out of an array. So get new color. Okay, so I'm gonna get the new color, and I have my array. So let's go array, and then we need to, we can do array get next, array get random, depending on how you want to do it. So let's go ahead and do array get next. Okay, so we have our array of colors, and I'm just going to go through those colors each one at a time. So let's go ahead and choose the array. So we have array of background color palette. So that's where we're going to grab our color. And then I need to choose to store that. And what I'm going to do is the result here is what I'm going to store it in. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to store it in a new variable. And I'll call this chosen color. Okay, so I've got that. And now once we have our current color and we've chosen a color out of the array, let's go ahead and add a new transition of finished. And I'll go off to a new state. And I'll call this animate background color. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two colors, I'm going to animate from one to the other. Okay, so let's go and we can do, there's several different ways we can do this, but I'm going to do an ease color, and you can see we've got that option up there. So I'm going to double click on that, add that in there. So from what color do we want to start from, and then what color do we want to end at? And we chose our two colors, right? We've determined what our current color is, we determined what the new color is out of the array, and we just want to animate between those two. So I'm going to do a from. So here we've got a variable. So I'm going to choose the current background color, and then I'm going to uncheck my use variable and use what the chosen color is. Okay. Okay, so we're choosing what the current background color is. We're pulling out of our array for the new color called the chosen color. And what we need to do is then animate from that color to the other one, and we're gonna reset the chosen color as the new color, okay? So here we have what our current background is, what our new color is, and then we're going to update the chosen color based off of that animation. All right, so what we need to do is to also set the background color. So here it's just animating that color value, but we're not updating the camera. So we actually need to update the camera. So I'm gonna make sure that my FSM has a lock on. Then I'm gonna grab my camera, bring it down, and we want to do a camera set property. Okay, so we're gonna update the background color of the camera. So here we've got the set property, we need to choose color. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, and here we've got background color, and we're gonna update the color. So currently it's saying, hey, set the value to black, but we wanna update the color based off of the chosen color. Okay, so I'm gonna uncheck the variable here. So we now have a set value, and we can choose chosen color. So here we're animating that color, and here we're gonna set that color. And we wanna make sure we're setting this every frame. So that way, as it's animating, it's continually updating the background color, okay? And I have this animating over 1 second time. So every time I create a level, it's going to animate the background color. So currently, it will animate from yellow to the first color within that array. So let's give this a play real quick and give it a try. Oh, there we go. We see that animation. And so let's go to the finished. And then when we get to the next level, it should go to the next color in the array. And there we go. So we see that animation. Boom, there we go. Whoa, that was cool. We learned how to change the background color every time we change the level. And then we also learned how to animate a float. So there's a lot of different ways you can apply that to all kinds of different things. And again, please share these tutorials. And please hit like, subscribe, and that little bell icon down there so you know when the next tutorial is available. Until next time, peace.